Undefeated Bellator heavyweight Steve Mowry. Thank you, Steve, for the time. How you doing, man? It seems like you've been relaxing really well.
Oh, I'm trying my best, man. I'm good. We've been working hard, ready to go to action here next week. Man, I can't wait. I'm excited. How are you?
Good, good, man. Now 2020, a year of obstacles for almost everybody in the world. Outside of fighting, has your life been affected by the pandemic any?
Um, I mean, fighting was namely the biggest thing that I think got affected. Other than that, no. I mean, it wasn't. There's definitely some big adjustments that had to go on, but no, really, I can't say it changed too much in my life. Training had to slow down a little bit, and we had a couple fights fall off, but um, no, otherwise life's been good.
How did you keep yourself busy when training slows down? What did you replace that with?
Um, watched a lot of Netflix. um, but really, no, we had a lot of good guys in the gym who were trying to stay accountable, trying to stay in shape, do what they had to do, try to stay professional. And that was nice. So we all got to push each other, and then I did everything that I could on my own to stay in shape, be ready for the gym to open back up. But otherwise, yeah, I was watching a lot of Netflix, watching a lot of TV, watching a lot of movies, reading a lot of books. Is just a lot. But um, I don't know. It's just strange having everything closed down too. It was strange that like there was just this weird amount of like downtime where like you weren't really supposed to go anywhere or do anything. So
Yeah, that was weird. That they told you don't go nowhere, don't do anything, but then people are out
yeah,
there going everywhere, doing everything.
yeah, we were in Florida too. So it was like the first like 3 weeks of it were like super scary. Everybody was terrified. Nobody's leaving their house. And then over the course of like a month and a half, everything just slowly started to like trickle open. And before I knew it, it was like it felt like we were at a full open basically.
The time flies by, especially when you're just watching Netflix and kind of like sitting around at home and just the days just blend in with each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like whenever you're on summer break as a kid, you're kind of like you're just doing the same thing all the time. Before you know, you're like, wait, what day is today?
In February, you were supposed to fight at Bellator 239. I saw, and then it said that you withdrew due to health concerns. What exactly happened leading up to that fight?
I had a skin infection.
Mhm.
So I had a skin infection. It got kind of like misdiagnosed, and then like we just weren't sure what was going on. So we just took the safe route. We backed out. So
How long did it, like what exactly, did the skin infection spread or, was it gone quickly?
and no, I mean it showed up, and I went to a doctor, and they prescribed the wrong medication, so it did spread, and um, luckily I have a friend who's a veterinarian who ironically enough, actually correctly diagnosed it. I went back to the doctor, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it probably is that." And then it cleared up. It was just like one of those silly things. Like, I mean, and that's how it goes usually. Is like if it had been like 2 weeks before the fight or 2 weeks before when it did happen, probably not a big deal. And if it had been like immediately after the fight, again, not a big deal. But it happened at just such an inopportune time, and then it's one of those things where like I wouldn't disrespect my opponent by showing up to a fight with that. So took the safe route.
A veterinarian properly diagnosed your skin infection
And he
compared to a
gives me
regular.
a hard time about it all the time. All the time he gives me a hard time about it. Yeah, you gotta trust your vet, Steve.
Well, at least he's your friend, right? At least,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't continue, taking the wrong medicine or something.
yeah, for real. And he even told me like, yeah, it's probably this, and they're gonna prescribe you this. And then he was right. Well, he before the whole thing correctly called it for what it was, but I was like, no, I'm gonna go to a doctor because like I can't justify that to like Bellator or my teammates. Like, yeah, I just trusted what the veterinarian said, but then of course he was right, and it's just one of those things. It's just funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely a story you can tell. Now, you're supposed to return after that in July at Bellator 242. You tested positive for coronavirus. Take us through that ordeal and explain maybe some of the symptoms that you were experiencing.
Yeah, so it's actually it was a false positive because I had coronavirus about 7 weeks before the fight was supposed to happen. Um, like I for sure had it, and I'd already gone through like the full cycle of it. So I had tested positive. I'd recovered. I'd gone back to training, got in shape for a fight, and then whenever I got out there, it was pretty obviously a false positive. So I I had a friend fight, and I went to corner him. And when I came back, I had experienced some like fatigue and a little loss of taste and smell. But honestly, it wasn't severe enough for me to think that there was something wrong. I thought maybe I was just run down from training. So um, I got tested because my girlfriend's kid has asthma, and she just wanted me to take a precaution. And I did, and I tested positive. So, I mean, at the time, I took all the correct precautions, But once the symptoms cleared up, I went back to training. Like I said, I was training. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. When I got cleared, like whenever I finally got my negative test, it was the week before the fight, and whenever it was a shock because I made it all the way out there, and it was my first test while I was in Connecticut that I tested positive. So I tested positive. I knew it was a mistake. I came back to Florida and I tested again, and my next test was negative. So I had a negative test with a positive test sandwiched by another negative test right after the positive one. So it was just unbelievably frustrating. It was terrible.
Yeah, you must have been pissed off because, man, these false negatives, this kind of ruining, some huge opportunities.
Yeah, it really threw me. It was upsetting for sure. And it's not really on Bellator so much as it was just like we're all kind of pulling our hair out. I was shaking my head. I was really frustrated because, like you said, it was a loss of an opportunity. Like I had trained really hard and put a lot of work in to get ready for that fight, and just for it to fall off on me like that was frustrating.
Well, they did a good job to rebook you, for this upcoming event, 249. You're facing off against a promotional newcomer in Shawn Teed. Thoughts on him and the type of fight or skill set that he brings?
So Shawn Teed, to my understanding, is pretty good. He's a champion of a promotion before Bellator. We have a common opponent. I just found out, actually. I made my pro debut against a guy that he fought like 3 fights ago or something like that. So I'm looking forward to it, man. We actually, it would appear as though we have a similar skill set. He's more of like a grappler type, and I'm by and large mostly a grappler. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to like proving I'm the better guy.
Showing your striking skills, because usually when that happens, 2 grapplers or 2 wrestlers or whatever clash, they stand and bang it out sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I really think that I'm better prepared everywhere. I really think I have the stronger skill set everywhere, and I'm looking forward to showcasing it.
All right. Well, when you look back at your career, you started with the Black Zillions. You went to Hard Knocks. Now you're at Sanford. You went through all the transitions. What has it been like to develop throughout the years with those legendary fight teams? So many guys there.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's been really special, I got to say. I met a lot of really cool people on the way, and the trajectory has just gone upwards. I really thought when I was with the Black Zillions, like, man, this is the best group of guys, with the best coaches, with the best, all that. I really thought I was in the best space possible. And, like we had some hiccups, we had some drama, we had some tough times, but generally, things have just only been getting better. Like the coaching staff is becoming more efficient and more productive learners, along with the fact that our team is constantly making additions for, other good fighters, not just accomplished guys like Martin and Ong, but guys that are like, you probably haven't heard of yet kind of deal, but like, in 3-4 years, they'll probably be right up there with me, So, it's been cool, and it's been really special to be a part of. I'm really grateful to say that I've been along for the ride,
Yeah, you've been through everything, like you said, the fallouts and the rumors and all of that. I'm pretty sure people have been asking you because you've been there through everything.
Yeah, I got there like right at the end of the Black Zillions, like when everything started to kind of like come off.
Henry Hoof, he's been an important figure all throughout all those teams. What characteristics does he possess that drew you to him from the start?
Yeah, Henry has been around elite fighters a long, long time. And he kind of came in. He's been there for every stage of a lot of their career. So like he was there for the very beginning for like some of the guys, MMA fighters and kickboxers. But he also came in and was able to help kickboxers and MMA fighters. He's also to come in and help them make adjustments later on in their career where they saw productive growth. So I would say that, like, namely was that, whenever I got to Henry, I was mostly just a grappler with a little bit of striking experience. But, what drew me to him was that he had a system. He had an offensive system that he put together, and he was able to build a style for guys who, either didn't have any base at all, or guys who came from something else and was able to help them develop. And, yeah, it was that combined with the fact that, he was actually interested in making guys develop, making guys grow. He had he still does have a really good relationship with Greg Jones. And I really think that, like, Greg really is like a really underlooked part of the team. Henry obviously gets a lot of the accolades, but, Greg is obviously somebody that I really value, that Henry really appreciates. So I don't know. It's just been a good thing. I've always been attracted. I've always felt like staying close to Henry was, like a pivotal thing for me.
The coaches at Sanford, they are low key. Even Henry, even though he is kind of considered the head coach, he's still low key. He doesn't really go out there and do all these like interviews with like all the big publications or anything like that. He just kind of coaches.
I don't know. Like it's a big mix of not just having a really deep understanding of the game, but also, the experience of having been around a lot of the best guys. Plus, like, he's somebody that is very passionate about, being creative and growing and learning new things. And it's paid dividends for him, not just with me, but, all the other guys and coaches too.
Yeah, he's turned some of the greatest, the best grapplers into just all around mixed martial artists. You see him with Gilbert Burns and Usman and a load of other guys. Now for you, for this camp, who have been your closest training partners?
So, Linton Vassell and I are constantly in the gym, punching each other in the head, beating each other up, always pushing each other to the next level. And then we've had a couple newer guys like coming to the gym. I don't know if it's anybody that people would know. Like they're mostly unknown guys, but like a lot of guys that are really good. We actually have a good friend of mine from back home, Tom Gormley. He's the gym manager, but he also kickboxes. He competes. He's somebody that's been really helpful for me, helping me get ready. Obviously, Ong and I are always pushing each other. We have another guy, I call him Gio, but it's Georges Chokos. He fought a couple weeks ago in Bellator. So a lot of really good guys, but those are like the main ones.
All right. Now, what type of fight are you expecting out of yourself against Teed?
I'm going to give my maximum effort. I'm going to be relentless. I'm going to be aggressive. And I'm going to go in there to do something violent, do something special.
Your future in the division or in the promotion, what is a fight that you would like, maybe a couple fights down the line, that you see like a legend? Because so many heavyweight legends right now fighting for Bellator.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm really focused on Shawn Teed right now and seeing what happens with that. But I don't know. I feel like I'm on a collision course with a lot of those guys. If you keep winning fights, you're gonna have to fight your heroes eventually, right?
Definitely. Now with Ung and Martin, they got big title fights coming up. Maybe 2 weeks after your fight. So how are they looking in the gym?
Well, I don't get to train with Martin hands-on as much, but obviously whenever I see him fight, I see how he incorporates the system that we implement with the team, and just what little I've seen of him, and what little I've been able to just observe for myself, he looks great. As for Ong, though, like Ong and I were some of each other's main training partners, and Ong looks sensational. He's game, he's fast, he's strong, he's technical, and his pressure's unreal. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he makes that translate whenever he fights Ryder to Ritter.
Yeah, man, that's an incredible fight, but I really do feel Ong goes in there as a heavy favorite.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see how Ong makes it happen. And Ong really is a game day guy. Not to say that he, doesn't perform well in the gym, but he's a guy that, his most special things that Ong does happen whenever the lights hit him, and it, just as his teammate and, a friend, it's really something special to behold.
So, you said that, you don't have really no one in mind, but man, how many years or how many fights do you feel like you're away from getting a top contender in that division?
I mean, not many. I mean, I feel like as you win fights, you're never really far off from having to face somebody that has already been there, done that.
All right, man. Well, October 15th, Bellator 249. You're back in action at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Thank you, Steve, for the time. Appreciate everything and all the best.
Yeah, man. Good talking to you.
Hey guys, Sasha Platnikoff here, letting you know to tune in to SCMP Post Fight for all your weekly martial arts news.